A key prosecution witness today testified that he cannot speak to the integrity of the data he extracted from the cellular phone, which has been attributed to entertainer Vybz Kartel. Detective Sergeant Patrick Linton made this assertion today on the cross-examination. This admission has now cast a doubt on some 5 days of evidence provided by the cop. Dara Smith continues her coverage of the murder trial involving entertainer Vybz Kartel and 4 other co-accused charged with the August 2011 murder of Clive Lizard Williams.
Day 40 of the Vybz Kartel murder trial, and Detective Sergeant Patrick Linton, the man who presented video, photographic, voice notes and BlackBerry Messenger conversations into evidence, was facing a round of grueling cross-examination from attorney Pierre Rogers. Pierre Rogers represents accused Kahira Jones. Mr. Rogers picked up his cross-examination on the authenticity of the information retrieved from the phone attributed to the entertainer Vybz Kartel, especially since the court was told that the phone was being used whilst in the custody of the police to make calls on the 9th of November 2011. Mr. Linton, while being questioned, admitted that it's important that the phone be kept in sterile conditions, that is, free of manipulation and turned off to prevent it from receiving calls, text, emails, voice notes, etc. However, the sergeant earlier in the proceedings told the court that when he locked up the phone, it was still powered on. Mr. Rogers to the sergeant: "Did you go on to tell me that it could have received emails with picture attachments?" The sergeant responded, "Yes." Mr. Rogers asked, "It could also receive voice notes?" "Yes, counsel." Mr. Rogers continued, "And this is at the time when you locked it up in your locker?" "Yes, counsel." Mr. Rogers pressed, "Mr. Linton, was this phone being kept in sterile condition?" The sergeant then responded, "The phone was off, counsel. When I said it was on, I meant to say it was off." Then the cross-examination turned to the machine used to extract the information from the cellular phone. That machine showed an extraction date of October 22, 2011, but the sergeant said he started to retrieve information from the 14th of October. Mr. Rogers to the cop: "Let me ask you, who is telling lies, you or the machine? Are you lying about your involvement with the machine on the 14th in order to cover someone else's involvement in the manipulation of the machine on the 14th? The sergeant responded, "No, my lord." But the sergeant told the court that the timestamp recovered from the phone, that is, the time the phone said a document was created, can be altered. He testified that if altered, the machine used to extract the information would record the altered time. Then there's the memory card on which the information is stored. The court was told today that there's no record of that card being among the items seized. Mr. Rogers asked the cop if this card can be easily manipulated. The sergeant smiled and responded, "Yes, counsel." So after introducing 40 voice notes, a 2-minute 17-second video, a number of photographs and some 54 BlackBerry Messenger conversations which Sergeant Linton said he extracted from one cellular phone, this alarming revelation from the cop. Mr. Rogers asked him, "Have you ever told anyone that you cannot speak to the integrity of the data? Have you ever said that?" Detective Sergeant Linton responded, "Yes, counsel." Mr. Rogers asked, "Were you being truthful?" "Yes, counsel." Not long after, the court was adjourned for the lunch break. The sergeant's cross-examination was put on hold until tomorrow. In the meantime, witness number 23, Constable Kemar Wilkes, took the stand. His testimony was essentially that he transcribed the audio from the video and voice notes on 2 Microsoft Word documents. He was asked to read to the court the information he transcribed. However, under cross-examination, he admitted that he has no linguistics training, but by virtue of him being a Jamaican, he was able to analyze and transcribe the patois. Dara Smith, TVJ News.